Hello students. First of all, I welcome you here in today's session. Today we are starting with the lesson number 2 from our English textbook. The dog found himself a master. This story is about a dog who was an ill-placed dog. He changed the destiny of all the dogs. Do you know earlier the dogs were wild animals and later on they changed to be the tame animals? So, what happened with them as they changed to be the tame animals? So, let's find out by reading the story how the dog found himself a master. So, let's begin it. So, here we begin with Unit 2, Lesson 2 How the Dog Found Himself a Master. Dogs were once their own masters and lived the way wolves do, in freedom, until a dog was born who was ill placed with this way of life. He was sick and tired of wandering about by himself and looking for food, being frightened of those who were stronger than he. He thought it over and decided that the best thing for him to do was to become the servant of one who was stronger than anyone on earth. And he set out to find such a master. He walked and he walked. He met a kinsman of his, a big wolf, who was as strong as he was fierce. "Where are you going, dog?" the wolf asked. "I'm looking for someone to take up service with. Would you like to be my master, wolf?" "I don't see. Why not?" the wolf said. And this agreed upon, the two of them went on together. They walked, and all of a sudden the wolf lifted his nose, sniffed, darted quickly off the path and into the bushes, and crept deeper into the forest. The dog was much surprised. "What came over you, master?" he asked. "What has frightened you so?" "Can't you see? There is a bear out there, and he might eat up both of us, you and me." Saying that the bear was stronger than the wolf, the dog decided to take up service with him, and he left the wolf and asked the bear to be his master. The bear agreed to this readily and said, "Let us go and find a herd of cows. I will kill a cow, then we can both eat our fill." They walked on and soon saw a herd of cows. But just as they were about to come up to it, they were stopped by terrible noise. The cows were mooing loudly and running in a panic in all directions. The bear looked out from behind a tree, and then he too ran hastily deeper into the forest. "Now, why did I have to come here?" said he to the dog. "It is the lion who rules the forest in these parts." "The lion? Who's he?" "Don't you know he is the strongest beast on earth?" "Well then, I'll say goodbye to you, bear. I want a master who is stronger than anyone on earth." And off the dog went to ask the lion to be his master. The lion agreed to it, and the dog stayed with him and served him for a long, long time. It was a good life, and he had nothing to complain of, for there was no stronger beast in the forest than the lion, and no one dared touch the dog or offend him in any way. But one day the two of them were walking side by side along a path that ran amid bare cliffs when all of a sudden the lion stopped. He gave a great roar and struck the ground angrily with his paw, with such force that a hole formed there. Then he began to back away very quietly. "What is it, master? Is anything wrong?" asked the dog, surprised. "I smell a man coming this way," the lion said. "We would better run for it, or we will be in trouble." Oh, well, then I'll say goodbye to you, lion. I want a master who is stronger than anyone on earth. And off the dog went to join the man, and he stayed with him and served him faithfully. This happened long, long ago, but to this day, the dog is man's most loyal servant and knows no other master. So, here we have finished the reading, and now we'll start the discussion of the difficult words which are there in the lesson. The difficult or the new words are wander. Wander, that is to roam. If you are wandering somewhere, that means you are roaming somewhere. Look for, that is to search. If I am looking for something, it means I am searching something. Kinsman, that is a relative. So the dog was the kinsman of the elf. Fierce, that is violent or frightening. So the wolf was fierce. Sniffed, that is smelled. So the wolf sniffed something. Darted, moved quickly. So the wolf darted. Crept, that is moved slowly or carefully, especially in order to avoid being heard or noticed. So the wolf crept. Come over you, that is affected you. Readily, that is casually or without any hesitation. So the service the dog has offered, the other animals were accepting it readily. Terrible, that is fearful. So there was a terrible noise. Mooing, cows sound. So the cows were mooing. Panic, that is fear or anxiety. So all the cows were panic. Hastily, that is hurriedly. So the bear hastily hid himself. Beast, a wild animal. So the lion was the beast. Dare, that is to brave to do something. So nobody dared there. Offend, that is insult or disrespect. So nobody offend the dog. Amid, that is in the middle of. Bear, that is covered with or surrounded by. Or cliffs, that is high rock. So they were walking through the amid bare cliffs. And struck, that is hit. So the lion struck the ground. So these are the words that we have learned from this lesson. So I want you all to practice these words and try to use it in your day routine language. Let's go to the next page. The next thing is summary, right? So here we'll discuss the lesson in detail. So please listen the lesson carefully. Earlier, the dogs were free as they were their own masters. They were wild animals like tigers, lions, or wolves. But there was an ill-pleased dog who was not happy with his life. He was sick and tired of wandering and searching food. He was afraid of other stronger animals than him. He thought and decided to find out the strongest animal on the earth and become his servant. Soon after, he started his journey to find a master. He walked some distance and met a big wolf. The wolf was his kinsman. He was strong and frightening. He asked the dog where he is going, and the dog answered that he is looking for a master. He asked the wolf whether he would like to be his master, and the wolf accepted and agreed upon it. They walked together. Suddenly, the wolf stopped and smelled something and moved quickly into the deep forest. The dog asked him the reason, and the wolf said, "There is a bear and he is afraid of him." The dog realized that the bear is stronger than the wolf, so he left him and went to the bear. and he offered his service to the bear, and the bear accepted it. Soon after, they went for hunting. They saw a herd of cows. The bear was ready to attack on cows, but found that cows started running and moving suddenly. The bear also hid himself behind a tree. The dog asked the reason for hiding. The bear said, "As there is a lion, he is roaring, and he is the strongest beast in the forest." The dog left the bear by telling that he wanted to serve the strongest animal on the earth. He went there and offered his service, and lion accepted it. Soon after, the life changed. The dog became happy as there was no any animal frightening or offending him. Every animal was afraid of the lion. The dog served the lion for a long time. Once, the dog and the lion were passing through the rocky area. The lion suddenly stopped and roared and hit the land in anger, and turned back and started walking. This made the dog surprised. He asked the lion what had happened. The lion told that he smelled the man is coming and who is coming towards them. So there will be trouble if they found them. So we are going back. The dog soon realized that the man is the strongest creature on the earth. So he left the lion and started serving the man. Till today, the dog is the pet animal, and he is serving the man and doesn't know any other master. So here, I hope that you have understood the story, and we can say from that day the dog has become the servant, and he is not knowing any other master. He is there at our home serving to us.